Hello one, and welcome back to John Bill's Iconic Motor Malls. Okay, so in today's video I'm going to pick up this large 123 scale gun deck diorama. So if you've not already watched the first two parts, you can see me building this frame, and then in the last video I added all the front planking. So pretty much going to just lay the plans out on the desk, and I'm going to pretty much in this video I'm going to start all this planking. But before I do that, I'm going to add some of these support decks, because right on the back section around about there we have a large grating that has to be added. So yeah, so like I mentioned in the first couple of videos, there's very limited actual measurements on this drawing. A lot of it has to be worked out yourself. Pretty much you get like 32mm on this front face where you worked out where your gun ports were, but literally everything else is pretty much going to kind of work it out and do it yourself. Yeah, so on this section here we need to add the support. So we get a little diagram that's telling us we need to use 4x4, so I've found that out. So I'm assuming that literally we're going to put a support running absolutely dead center to the distance between these two decks, and then I'm going to put another one slightly offset to it. There's going to be the support frame for the grating. So the first thing I'm going to do is just going to take a measurement, and just take a measurement between these two decks supports. So that's 100. Yeah, we've got 101 both sides. So I've got a little sharp marker just because it's sort of like scorched from the laser cut, so you might not be able to see that. So I'm going to work out that even though it's 101, dead center is going to be 50. I'll be happy with that. Do that. Just do that on both of them. Okay, so then I need to take a measurement from these next decks that way, and that is around about 54. So yeah, we need to cut 4 of these 4x4s at 54. Yeah, so at the minute I've still got very limited space, so I'm having to try and just do my best with the builds. So I'll take a piece of this 4x4, mark it at 54 using a pencil this time. Take it over to the miter block. Let's get you. They say there's always slight play in these miter saws. Always make sure you go to your preferred side, which for me is going to be the left side, so that I know I'm flush on both of these walls. And then just let the saw do the work. Okay, so it's going to make 3 more of these. Okay, so I've cut 4 of these deck supports at 54. So now where these 2 marks are that we made, I'm just going to add these strips of 4x4. So all we need to do is just get these planks dead center to that mark. So what I'm going to do, just I've started using it recently just because it's quicker on camera, is I'm just going to use some super glue along the joins. Capillary action runs in, and it makes it quite a nice, actually quite a nice tight fit at first. So then we'll do the same for the next one. I mean, you could split that plank in half. You could have put a little measurement either side, knowing I was dead center, but I just offered it all by eye, and I know that's not far off at all. Same again, just rub some super glue all the way around the joint. So for the next 2 support planks, go inward, coming in, and I haven't actually at the minute got a measurement for this gratings. All I'm told at the minute is to use a 3x15 to make the size, and obviously a 3x3 to make the middle. So yeah, so at the minute I haven't got 100% because I've not made it up, because I'm assuming we make the gratings up to that spec and then frame it. So yeah, so I've not actually done that because I'll do that in another video. So all I can do at the minute is I'm just going to take a little bit of a risk, and I personally think that's, if you're looking at the 2 planks that would be 4x4, I'd say that's an 8mm gap. So I'm going to offset the next plank by 8mm, and then hopefully it all lines up. But you've seen this on the video, so if it doesn't, then we'll have to sort it out. But it won't be too much in any case, because all that's really going to do is just going to be the support plank for where the edge of the plankings come. So what I'm going to do, take my ruler and just mark that 8mm. Do the same on the other side, and then we'll squeeze this one in. But this time this is not to the centre, this is to the edge. That looks pretty square to me. Let's do the same. Okay, so if you watched the first video, I left this centre frame out, and I'm hoping now that people can see why I actually did that. Because if I'd glued all these parts in from the first section, now I'd be having to work and add all these in, kind of working inside myself. But because I've left these off until a little bit later on in the build, I'm completely free. I can do all the planking, all the internal planking on this side without having to worry about trying to work in between myself. So yeah, and then just add the next one. Okay, so now them supports are in, we can now turn its attention to start doing some planking. So we get loads of these large strip woods. I think these are 6x2, so we can use them. So what we're going to do, we're going to actually work on a configuration of the like 5, and then you kind of start again. So literally we've got like a center one every 3, so you do 5, and then the 6th one you go back to that configuration, the 7th one you go to the center, and the 8th one you go to the offset one, and then you go back to the double one. Same again. What we're going to do is we're going to take a measurement all the way across this this deck, and this is 249. So purpose of this video, I'll make it 250. So what I'm going to do, just take the long strip, get my long ruler, just put it on 250, make a pencil mark, and the same again over to the little miter block. And just chop that. So I think this is slightly longer because I think we get 2 out of 1. So what I'm going to do with this one is on the I'm going to write master, so then I can use that as like the master template. So every time I bring over another plank, I can just put them together on the bottom of the cutting mat, hold them on the top, cut that little piece off, and then I can just I get 2 at the same. Okay, so I'm going to bring the diorama back across. I'm going to take this one in, save the master, use this next one, and then the first set of planks is going to be marked dead down that rib, and then same just on that one. Martin block back across. And then we're just going to cut it. Either side. And then all I'm doing, as using a file. Should really use like a triangular file, but like I say, I'm not sure where it is at the minute, so I'm just using a flat file, but I should put it on an angle. That's just put a little triangular groove in the deck. Okay, so once you've got your first one in, so then you can just take your next plank. But what you can do, and this time just make it a little bit more easy, because you can just recopy this over and over again. It's just take a measurement from the edge of that support dead center to the that's a plank support you put in at 71. So on here we can write just 71. So you know next time it's going to be dead center right to this middle beam, so that is 122, which is almost 125. So then same again on this one, we can write 125, and then we can just pretty much do the next one, which is 178. So all we can do now is just keep taking the planks that we cut to 250, mark the next one at 71, so these razor saws are incredibly sharp, so you don't need to go very deep. Corner of the file, then that's the next one along. So then all you need to do then is pretty much do that for the entire full length of this this deck. So what I'll do is I'll go away now, cut a few more of these so I can progress, then we'll come back and we'll start to glue a few in. Okay, so I've cut quite a few of these now, not a lot, but just enough to do the first section. Okay, so in the drawing a little bit later on, we actually remove these sections. They're just like false. Yeah, so we remove this section and we make up a couple of these columns using some dowel and these little capping sections. Yeah, so the first plank is actually not that one, because that one will go there once that's been cut away. So the first plank's this one, this offset one. So all I'm going to do at the minute is I've only got 3 painting surfaces that I can apply glue to. So yeah, personal choice this as well. You can blacken them edges if you want. I don't personally like that much, so I don't always tend to do that. But yeah, you can do if that's your preference. So the first one's going to go in. And I'm just going to get a piece of I'll use a bit of that actually. This is off the Constitution jig, and just push that up to there. So that's the first one. So what I'm going to do is I'll glue 2 and clamp 2. So glue that one in. So we've got almost a full surface area on this one, so we can kind of glue all the way along this beam. Put a little bit along this edge if you want, not a lot. Don't want it spilling out too much. And this one is the third plank, so that's the one that's been cut down the centre. Now let's take a couple of these little pegs, clamp my traditional one. Clamp it there. I'll just put one on this back edge for now. So then all we're going to do is just carry on, adding the next planks up to plank number 5. Okay, so once you get the first 4 in, that would cover this this first 4 planks. So we've got 4 full ones. Now we start to put in these half ones. So what we're going to do is obviously the next plank that would have been with that off cut just to there, which is a 71. Now I'm just going to cut it at 85, which comes over the next support beam, and that can be glued on there, because this is the spacing where the gratings are going to fit. Pretty much going to do exactly the same on the other side, but because that was just, there's only one cut in there, that'll just be just a plain piece. Same again, just try and keep it nice and true on this edges. Squeeze that in. So yeah, so this is the next one. This is an 85. This has been cut just straight, and that just fits on there. So then all we're going to do for the next, I think it's next 4, so 1, 2, 3, 4, is 4 more small cuts, and then we'll continue with the larger cuts again. Okay, so after you've put in the next 4 planks, we've got to lift the opening for the grating. So now we can just carry on adding these full planks. So what I like to do as well is I like to kind of, when I put one plank in, I like to leave a bit of glue overhanging for the next plank, and then when I'm ready to stick the next plank on, I'll just quickly go over it with a little bit of fresh. You can see how hard it is for me just to drag my paintbrush, so that becomes really tacky. So then we'll bring this next one in. So what I have done just for this video is I've just got me propelling pencil. I'm actually just run a little bit of the lead just down the groove, just to make it stand out a little bit more. So then we can bring the next one across, and because that glue's been sat there for a couple of minutes, and then you just put a bit of fresh over it, it acts like it's almost like a super glue. You can move that backwards or forwards, and that's pretty much got it. And I say, just trying to keep your eye on that they're all running as true as possible. Same again, even though there's a bit of old glue sat there, just run a little bit of fresh over. And what I mean by putting a bit of glue on for the next plank is, as you can see, as I'm gluing this plank about to glue now, I'm actually just running a bit over the plank that's going to go on next, so that kind of sits and starts to go quite tacky. So then, like I say, when you bring the next plank across and you push it into place, slide it. When you can see I can barely slide it. It's just got it. I just yeah, I use this technique quite a lot, and then you literally don't have to use any clamps or anything. It's just taken. So pretty much all I've got to do now is follow this procedure all the way right up to the end. Okay, so once you've added all the next lot of planking, pretty much takes us all the way up to the outer wall. We should be looking something like that. So what I'm going to do, I've done it on this side already, is obviously I've just smoothed off all this this side, make it all nice and uniform. Because even though I've cut these all to the same length, unless you're actually cutting them with like a table saw or a little chop saw, you might get a little fraction where you're a quarter of a mil either side, but before you know it, you do end up having a little bit where it looks like that. So all I'm going to do now is I'm going to take one of these spare pieces of wood. I'm going to take this edge right up against that whale, bring it flush with that first plank, and then I'm just going to take my little propelling pencil again and then just kind of go across, and it'll use a nice straight edge on me, and it'll pick up on any high spots. And all I'm going to do, you can see a few just along the edge, and all I'm going to do is take this sanding block with a 240 grit on, and I'm just going to sand it all back nice and flush. Okay, so literally just 5 minutes of sanding and you'll get a nice straight edge. So all I'm going to do now is take this tack cloth. This is actually what it's meant for, and just clean off all the excess. Okay, so what next? So really, I've got to do the lining out of the inside wall, but it'll be no different to the video where I lined the outside wall out. So I'll probably do that off camera. So when we return in the next video, I think I'll start to line out all these gun ports, and maybe don't know, maybe cut these support legs off and start adding them little nice columns on the outer two ones. So yeah, so another thing as well is also meant to ask people is should I paint the inner walls white, or should I leave them all natural wood? Because obviously all these columns above ceiling supports, these are all going to be painted white. So yeah, I might actually paint the inner wall white like it actually looks on Victory. But yeah, just let me know what you think. So anyway, hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you all again soon. Take care, everyone.